Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Kyra and I am here today for my May Sparks video, sharing with you all the things that sparked joy, fun, inspiration. My cat is meowing during the month of May. So the month of May, I can't lie, my list of things that sparked my joy is not very long, so this one's going to be a bit weird. I'm going to share with you the stuff I do have written down, and then I'm going to talk to you about the month of May, which I have been dubbing MAYham, because that's what it was. May was not just May, it was MAYham. Anyway, first, let's talk about how May started. Because at the beginning of May, it seemed to be going pretty good. One of the first things that happened, I got some new stuff in May. I'm just grabbing it. This one, oh, I'm so excited. I got my Spread Crafters trio, and oh my gosh, I have wanted this since I've seen Lisa's video about it, which I think was like a year ago, and I kept fucking forgetting to buy it. I would see because this was not cheap. I got all three at once, so it was a package price. It was very well priced, nothing wrong with the price. It just, because I was buying them all at once, I kept they were off my radar. I would get money, I'd be like, I'm gonna buy a new tarot deck, and I would always forget those, and I would get a tarot deck that I could just get in one shot rather than putting money aside for this. So I kept forgetting, but I finally got them, and I love them. I love them so much. And I got them as an investment in my business because I feel like they're things that over time I can learn to use as workhorse decks. I just got them in the month of May. They're the first thing I wrote down, so I think they were towards the beginning. So it's new. But so the day I got them, we sat down with the Spread Crafters Quest one, and I'll link Lisa's video because it's a fabulous walkthrough video. And in the Quest one, they have a whole bunch of character cards, and they say so with it you can pull a character profile. So I pulled these cards, and me and Zariah spent about freaking an hour pulling character profiles with different tarot decks and seeing which ones we liked, and it was such fun. It was so much fun. So that's that one. I haven't used my god, I'm saying a lot. I haven't used the change one as much yet. I think just because sometimes when I'm in a dark place, I don't want to go into a darker place, and May ended up being pretty shadowy of a month, so, and just a ton happened, so I wasn't in a place where I was going to be using this, but I'm excited and feeling better and ready to crack into using this. I'm still figuring them out. The Quest one is definitely a favorite. I used it in my vlog video, which I'll link up above, where I was decluttering and working on my living space. I used it to pull some cards about cleaning, which such a silly little thing, pulling cards before you do cleaning about cleaning, but it was so much fun. So that was definitely a favorite. Another new deck I got in the month of May, which you also would have seen me use in that vlog, was the Lilifer Tarot. I didn't write down what days I got these. Don't worry. My June journaling video, which you will have seen, It went up first. It's linked up above. I remembered to put in a spread so that way I can get more organized for my June Sparks video. The Lillifer Tarot, I love it. It is so fucking cool. It's just cool. And I really like it. And it works well. I haven't quite found 100% like, here's what I reach for this deck specifically for. I like using it with my spread crafters. I like using smaller size decks with my spread crafters. But I haven't determined like, oh, this is my Lillifer Tarot, and I grab my Lillifer Tarot when I want to do this kind of a reading. I haven't determined that yet, because honestly, in May, I didn't do a lot of readings. I was in a lot of pain, which I'll talk about. But I did get the Lillifer, and I love it. Another thing I really enjoyed in the month of May was a friend of mine reached out and shared with me that Laura Tempest Zakroff. I need some water. Pause and drink water, y'all. Good for the body, mind, and soul. Ooh, water. A friend of mine reached out to me and told me that Laura Tempest Zakroff had a new class she was releasing called The Business of Witchcraft. And I immediately signed up as a business expense. Laura Tempest Zakroff is a known name in the witchy communities, tarot communities. I have 2 books by her. I've got Weave the Liminal, and I've got this one, which I haven't finished reading yet. She's fabulous, and she's been running her own witchy business work for a while, so I took that course. Being able to say I got to take a course with Laura Tempest Zakroff was wonderful. And one of my favorite parts about it is she offered pricing, sliding scale pricing for income impacted people. So I was able to get it for a price that I could afford, which was a very reasonable price. Others who were able to pay a bit more to help cover some of the cost for people like me who couldn't afford to take it at full cost. I like when people think about the fact that there are folks who need these resources but can't afford them. They're income impacted through no fault of their own. So I really, really, really liked that. And the course was good. I can't talk a ton about it because it's not my course. You can check out the website. I took a lot of notes on it, and it was really good. That's actually what helped me figure out how I wanted to, what software to use to get my website, which is another spark for May. I almost forgot it because I'm filming this on the 31st, and I finished my website yesterday. So I almost forgot to include it as a May spark, but it is a May spark. I finished my website. I did a video introducing my website. That's linked up above. My website is in the description box, and it's all thanks to this course, and I love it, and I'm so thrilled. So thrilled. Hi, you can see, look. Who can tell from that little bit of my screen what I'm watching on YouTube? Who can tell what channel it is? I bet you can. Leave a comment. Anyway, the beginning of the month of May, before it got all chaotic, I was spending a lot of time outside. And it was wonderful. Like once a day for several days, I would grab a bag, I would put some decks in it, and I would go to the park and I would sit outside. Now, the weather, like this was during a warm streak, and then it got colder again and rainier again. So, and then other things happened, but I was spending a ton of time outside, and it was really great. And it was during this time outside that I got the idea for this. Fucking finally, I have had this this 2-pocket wrap bag from Peggy's shop for a while. And I've never really used it. I used it like once when I first got it, but I figured it out. So, here it is. It's got 2 decks in there and a book. The guidebook. It's up here. And it rolls out to a cloth. So, I use the Witch's Wisdom paired with a Seasons of the Witch Oracle, which I've confirmed they are going to do all 8. I use them coupled together for whichever season I'm in. Because not all of the Seasons of the Witch Oracles are out yet, I'm not transitioning them as fast. And it occurred to me to put it in here. So in here right now, I have my Witch's Wisdom Tarot, and I have my Seasons of the Witch Beltane Oracle, and the guidebook for my Witch's Wisdom Tarot. So that way, I could bring my pagan package of reading goodies, throw it in my bag, and be ready when I'm outside to connect in that unique divinatory pagany way. I'm going to change it out either like eventually once we have all 8 of the oracles, I'm going to change it out with each turn of the wheel. In the meantime, I'm going to change it out just whenever it feels right. Like at the very latest, I'll change it out at Samhain. I don't know if I'll be using it as much because it's not in Beltane time. But that's what I've been doing with this, which means one day I would like to, now that I have a way I use them, I would like to get some more 2-pocket wrap bags that match the rest of the seasons, because this one's a very springy one, so I'd like to get some other ones. A fall one, a winter one. No, in the winter I won't be going outside, but I could still grab it and go into like a cozy kind of environment, right? So, been really, really loving that. And I figured that out through my time outside. A cool thing I started doing involves my Dark Goddess Tarot. This is not the bag I plan to keep for the Dark Goddess Tarot. It's just I had a different deck in here and I took it out to use the bag for this deck. My Dark Goddess Tarot. I love this, but it's kind of hard to figure out how to work with. So what I've decided to do is I take it and I pull out my card for the upcoming month when I'm doing my predictions in the Dark Goddess Tarot. And then I read about it in the guidebook and I stick it up on my window, my little ledge. So up there, I have my monthly full moon surrender card. I've got 2 Dark Goddess Tarot cards right now because the month of June has not officially begun. So I have my May card and my June card. And I really like this as a way to learn about this deck more. It ended up sparking something really important for me happening, some new spiritual stuff, which I don't want to talk about yet. It's amazing. But because of working with this deck, I made a discovery that led to corresponding with different signs and symbols I was getting, which led to a new type of spiritual work and whatnot. So I really like using the Dark Goddess Tarot in this way, especially because I feel like it'll help me get to know this deck more, at least slowly dipping my toes in. I'm going to read through the entries again at the end of the month and kind of reflect back and see if I can make some more connections so I can retain what I read. But it's a start, and I like using it, and it makes me happy. So, love it. Love. So on this channel, I've talked a lot about my process of realizing how much of a fiery person I am. And an interesting thing happened. Pretty much as soon as I admitted how fiery of a person I am, it's like I unlocked my earth energy, and it's like, hello, my north node in Capricorn is like, hi, I'm here, and now you're going to pay attention to me. So I've been starting to try and do work to round out the work that I do with my business, also to ground myself. I'm not grounded. I am not a very grounded person at all, to the point where it's not good. I need more grounding. I have my friend Rana, who I've mentioned before, hounds me about it. So I've been trying to learn more. So I started taking a course of herbalism. Admittedly, I'm having trouble keeping up with it right now because I really want to be able to buy and do a load of herbalism supplies. Because what I've determined is I want to buy specific herbalism supplies from stores that I know are good, and I want to try making things specifically topically for ingestion and things like that. So you have to use certain ingredients and whatnot. Most of my herbs and stuff I have now, they're old, they're expired, they're not food grade, they're various things like that. And so I've determined those those are my spell supplies, and they're over there with my altar. I'm facing my altar right now. They're over there, and those are spell supplies. And then I brought this desk in because I've had this desk for a while, and I love it. It's a gorgeous fake like secretary desk. And I've always wanted to set it up as like an apothecary, herbal kitchen witch kind of thing. So it's got stacked on it a couple of things that need to move, but then that pile of books are all the like herbal books. So I've started a course with the Herbal Academy, which I'm really excited about, and I'm hoping maybe that learning about herbalism will also help with some of my anxiety about certain things. So the thing that's stopping me is that part of my brain's like, I just want to buy, like, I want to play with the stuff. I want to practice. I want to try making stuff as I'm learning, but I can't because I don't have the money to do an order to get it started. So for now, that part is kind of just on hold while I get some other ducks in a row, because the truth of the matter is I don't really have extra money right now at all. I need to stop spending money, and I need to save my money for things like rent and other things, because as I'll talk about in a minute, our just life situation is transitioning. So, but I'm very excited about this. I did also to make lilac water. I didn't know rose water was a thing you could make. I didn't know you could make waters out of flowers. And when I found out, the first thing I did was run outside and get lilacs and make lilac water. So, which is a herbal practice. So, and it was so much fun, and it felt so good. And I have my lilac water there, and I made it specifically for spell workings. For if I want to boost intuition and psychicness and protection and other lilac properties. My best friend did come and stay with us for a weekend, which was lots of fun, and I had really missed her, so that was really good. And I fell into the rabbit hole of the human design this month. It's really cool. They take, like, you put in your birth information like you would when you're trying to generate a birth chart, and if you just look up my human design, you'll get the info. But it's this really cool breakdown, and it's got all these different components, And if you get the app, you can pay a small monthly fee, listen to all the pieces of yours, and then you can cancel it, which is what I did. And it's just really cool. Like, I can't fully go into it because it's so complex and I don't understand it fully, but it's really cool. And man, did we feel called out listening to it. Like, it's so on point. So that's a new thing I've been enjoying and enjoyed in the month of May. Probably, though, the most exciting thing I did in the month of May was pre-ordering the Boo Tarot. I cannot wait. I can't wait. As soon as I get that deck in my hands, there's going to be a video. I'm going to be squealing. Oh, I can't wait. Cannot wait. And that's all that I wrote for my May Sparks. And that's because MAYham did not go very well. I think part of what happened is I kind of ignored the lesson of my card. My card for the month of May, I'm just going to get it out, was the Knight of Wands. Specifically from the Starseeker Tarot, which is my favorite Knight of Wands depiction anyways. And everything went haywire when I kind of started ignoring the Knight of Wands energy. I really struggle in life with that. I'm impulsive and I want to run around and have fun. And to hear my human design tell me, apparently that's what I'm meant to do. Apparently I'm a generator. I generate energy that, like, keeps the world turning. And lots of people are generators. There's some other types, like you could be a manifestor or a reflector or a projector. But the thing about generators is generators' jobs is to generate energy that the world runs off of. And we do that by following our joy, by following our bliss, or this is how it's described in the thing. And here's the Knight of Wands from the Starseeker Tarot. If that's not an image of just following your bliss, I don't know what is. And during the beginning of the month, when I was going outside a lot, I was following my bliss, and it was fantastic. And then I fell off the going outside wagon because some other stuff happened. So I feel like my lesson for the Knight of Wands was to follow my bliss. And I feel like I kind of ignored that. I've learned now how important that is. And that's a hard thing to balance because the capitalist society we live in is very real. I do not want to live in it forever. And I'm still trying to wrap my head around figuring how do I detach myself from this unhealthy way of living. I enjoy some of the things, like I enjoy being able to buy tarot decks and such, but this type of life is not sustainable. It's not healthy. It hurts people. Like having to stress every month about rent, even when you're working your ass off, it's not okay. And before anyone might come in my comments, even if I was working in a traditional job, I would not be making enough because I don't have the qualifications to get a job where I would make enough. Or if I did get a job, I would then have to be paying daycare, which would cost me about $1 bazillion. Daycare is really fucking expensive. It's not as simple, and it hasn't been as simple in a long time as, oh, you just get a job and you work hard and then everything will be fine. That's not the way it works anymore. I don't know if it ever really worked that way, but it definitely doesn't now. I'm working on learning new ways of living and becoming more independent and extricating myself from this capitalist society. But what happened in May was, well, first was my mouth. I have, as I've talked about, I've had bad habits taking care of my teeth. And right as I started to learn how to better take care of my teeth, it got bad. So my neck acted up. I also have a bad neck. Because I sit like this all the time. I gotta stop. I need like a neck brace to like train me to hold myself well. Looking, oh, so good. So beautiful. Oh. I did forget, before I finish this rambling part, I did forget one other thing. I got to meet JVN. We got to meet Jonathan Van Ness. And if that's not a favorite or a spark for May, then I don't know what is. Anywho, back to what I was saying. So my neck was hurting. So I was sleeping on the couch because my neck was hurting. And then I woke up with tooth pain. And the tooth pain got really bad really quickly because one of my wisdom teeth back here, I don't have either wisdom teeth here anymore. I have both here. The bottom wisdom tooth here had a cavity that went right to the root and the nerve. And so I was having pain. And it was really bad. And it was putting me into neurodivergent meltdowns. Like, there was one night where I was sitting there and I was just crying and I just couldn't stop saying, I was rocking back and forth and crying and just couldn't stop saying, I just need the pain to stop. I just need to stop. I just want to sleep. Because I couldn't sleep. I was in so much pain. So the neck pain got traded for tooth pain. And then I did get the tooth pulled in an emergency. And I posted about that in the community tab. So then I was recovering from having my tooth pulled. And in the midst of this, at some point, let me see, my journal should be able to tell me exactly when. Yeah. So in the midst of all of this, as I was dealing with tooth pain, there was also some neighbor drama. It was a blur. It started like the end of April into May, and I don't quite know when what happened, but the tooth pain was happening. I think it was the last day of April that I got my tooth pulled. I'm checking my journal. Yeah. On the 30th of April, I got my tooth pulled. So then the first 2 weeks of April, I was recovering from getting my tooth pulled. And it was going pretty well, but it was recovering from getting a wisdom tooth pulled. I had a hole in my fucking face, in my jaw. So that wasn't fun. And then on the 5th of April, Zariah started really having trouble at work. She was working in construction, and she was already transitioning out of work. She had given her notice of when she was going to be leaving because she starts school on the 8th. And the reason she was leaving construction, besides the fact that she didn't like it was hurting her body. She's got chronic pain that we're working on getting a diagnosis of. And we're pretty sure we know what it is. But we have to go through the diagnosis process. So her job was not safe for her body. And right at the beginning of May, she got hurt. She hurt her back. It was only a matter of time. And she ended up leaving work several weeks early because she couldn't keep working. By the time her back was better, she just couldn't keep doing it. She was going to get hurt again, and she was not doing well. So she left work weeks early. So I'm recovering from it's the beginning of May. I'm recovering from a tooth getting pulled. She's recovering from an injury and is just in a lot of pain. We're working on transitioning into the fact that now we're both home all the time. And as soon as my mouth starts to feel better, we got fucking sick. Wasn't COVID, seemed to just be a regular cold. We took multiple tests for over a week and never got a positive test. And the whole time we were getting negative tests, our symptoms were very classic symptoms of cold, and they were continually progressing the way a cold always does. I'm still a bit like, I've got a tiny bit of soreness still in that, like, I just returned to choir last night. That's the thing. It is May 30th, and I just returned to choir from being able to not sing for the first time all month because I just kept missing it. So the first half of May was tooth pain and injury, back pain, and recovering from those things. And then the second half of May has been recovering from being sick. Like my kiddo last week was my son's, I'm filming this on the 31st, by the way. Last week was my son's week back at school. He missed the week before. So the middle week of May from the 16th to the 20th, my kiddo was home all week. So it's just been chaos. It has just been chaos. I'm very excited that May is almost over. And I'm very excited that it's not ending on a sour note, because the spiritual thing that I realized through my Dark Goddess Tarot that I'm not ready to share yet just happened. That's been wonderful. And yesterday I got some happy mail. So some other things that are sparking my joy and inspiration is I got new Peggy bags. This was my last order for a while. I had some stuff on hold that I had to order, so I got this wrap out bag. And okay, confession time. Some of you probably know this now. I originally picked this out for my Marielle Tarot first edition. And then a lot of the stuff that was happening was, I've talked a lot about over-identifying myself with one part of myself and over-correcting. I do it a lot. I do it very strongly. And the Marielle Tarot was identifying myself with one part of myself. It was connected to who I was trying to be as Rebecca as opposed to being who I am as Kyra. There was lots of connotations, so I ended up offering, when I determined that maybe the Marielle wasn't for me, maybe I should have listened to that first instinct that told me not to buy it, I reached out to Danny Mystic, because I'd heard her talk about many times the fact that she loved the Marielle, but she wanted a first edition because she didn't like the changed art. She had the second edition, but those changed cards, she didn't like it. So as soon as I realized I wasn't keeping mine, I reached out to Danny and I asked her if she was still interested. And I sold my Marielle Tarot to Danny because I knew I wasn't gonna regret it, especially if I knew it was going to someone who was gonna love it more than I would, and someone who needed it more than I did. It's hard when you live with identity issues. It's just hard. So if you're lucky enough that you don't live with identity issues, be kind to people who are trans, who change their name, who change their hair a lot, who go through complete revamps with their wardrobe. These are all signs that can point to, and some of them are completely direct, that can point to someone struggling with understanding who they are and understanding their identity. If you know Enneagram types, I'm an Enneagram type 4. It's literally baked into who I am. And it's so accurate, it's scary. So for folks, if you know people who have trouble with that, be kind. Because if you don't experience what it's like looking in the mirror and not recognizing the person looking back at you and just knowing it's you, but at the same time being like, why don't I look like me? Why don't I feel like me? That's fucking scary to experience. And it's hard. Identity issues suck. So, be kind was the point of that little triad. Be kind was the point of that little ramble. So I got this initially for my Marielle, which is no longer with me. and it's a fold out one, which I love, but I am confident that I will find the right deck to put in this, because I couldn't not get it. The fabric, it's too fucking stunning. I had to have it. I'm tempted to put my Seasons of the Witch Samhain Oracle in here, but it doesn't feel quite right. I want something like that. I'm not sure, because the other thing is I use the wrap bags for decks that feel extra like sacred, and this is like my favorite aesthetic. It's like perfect. If this was a 2-pocket wrap bag, I would use it for like fall. Anywho, so that's that one. I got this adorable little bag. It's my miniest bag. I trimmed the elastic. And this is now where my Ganeshian Village tarot lives. Like, it's perfect. So I have this adorable little bag for my adorable little deck. And I got this stunning fabric, which was very popular. And I got it for my Seed and Sickle Oracle. It's not an exact like visual match, but it feels like the right fabric for it. So those came in literally yesterday. And in there I bought from Lisa her Lucky Potion Oracle she was getting rid of. I bought it for my spouse, so I got that as well. So the month ended on a high note. But that's what's going on. That's why I've been calling May Mayham. And the cool thing is, I was talking to my friend, one of my best friends, and I was talking about it being mayhem. And I'm not the only one, who experienced mayhem. And she suggested we claim June as rejuvenation. And I said, fuck yeah, I'm in. So that's what we're going for. June as rejuvenation. Anyways, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up to let me know that you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and leave a comment down below. Hit the bell notification. All of these things really, 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 really help me out. You can also check out if you'd like to book a reading with me or a consultation. All of my readings are done consultation style service. Most of them can be converted to pre-recorded reading if your schedule does not allow consultations. But my readings, all of that information is down in the description box. You can check out my website. If you have any questions about any of my services specifically, you can email me at thecraftedwitchery@gmail.com. And I will let you go, and I will see you again soon. Lots of love. Bye.